Hello and welcome to the Synergy Sanctum. This is our series focused on positive life coaching lessons with Squee the Immortal, where we aim to provide everyone with awareness and coaching that is focused on identifying your goals and your values, ensuring that the steps you take on your own adventure are aligned with that return on time that you are seeking, and sharing countless strategies focused on positive mindsets, resilience, and flourishing as a person each and every day. Let's get into today's episode. Martin Seligman also goes in when he's talking in this Flourish novel and the perma model, he goes into this idea of like the difference between an optimist and a pessimist, and the difference between optimism and just like a fixed mindset of feeling like everything's out of your control. And he talks about that with optimists, they believe that they can change things with their actions, so they end up acting more, right? Because their mindset is focused on this idea that I can change my actions. This is within my control, or this isn't in my control, but this is what is in my control, and I'm going to take actions on that path to impact the thing that's not in my control. So it's this idea that like my path is within my purview to forge, right? I don't have to like rely on others. I don't have to feel like things are out of my control or I'm never going to be better, because it is within my control. So it's just this mindset of like thinking that it's within my control. And the difference between optimists and pessimists are a lot of the actions that they take as well. So optimists tend to like keep trying, and they don't fall into this idea of passive helplessness, which Martin Seligman talks about. So this idea that woe is me, I'm never going to be better, I'm never going to be able to move past where I am, or I can't, or I'm not going to, be able to get out of this hole. This always happens to me. And it's like, no, actions are within your control. So again, the optimist focuses on the actions and how they can keep trying to move the needle versus like what the outcome of those actions might be, right? The optimist is focused on the actions that they can take versus like the outcomes that are out of their control. They also end up having a pretty strong social network. So optimists end up having a strong social network that they ultimately utilize more, right? So they have people that they can go to that they trust to like vent or have, I'm stressed about this, I'm going to go to this person to help me, or I'm going to partner with this person who's like-minded and is also like positively working towards something because I want to be like that, right? Versus surrounding yourself with people that you're comfortable with, or people that don't challenge you, or they don't challenge your beliefs or your ideas or your traits, right? And I'm not saying challenge in a way to where change who you are, but they're willing to have a thoughtful discussion and get you to like critically think about like whether what you're doing is aligned with what you've shared as your goals, right? Or is this aligned with your purpose? Or like, hey, Justin, I know that your strength is honesty. You don't seem like you're being honest to me right now, right? It's those type of people that like want you to be your best self, and they want to support you being your best self, and you should try to like find those people or surround yourself with them. So like if I get feedback from somebody, is it the best return for me as an optimist that's trying to pursue something or trying to flourish to like shut down and never talk to them again because they gave me feedback that wasn't just like Justin is great, right? And it's probably not, right? I should want, if I'm actively trying to improve and I want to grow and learn, I want feedback about when I'm not doing that, or I want to know when I'm negatively impacting somebody, and I want to be able to like shift to a more positive impact for that person or that thing or that task, right? And if I don't want to know this, then what am I doing? I'm just existing in the same cycle, and I'm not actually moving towards anything better or bigger than like who I currently am. It goes back to the idea of the comfort zone, right? I'm only comfortable with people that say I'm great and that are aligned with who I am right now as a person, and I don't want to grow. I don't see the value of growing. I don't want to be better. And then what are we doing, right? Because then like whatever obstacles you face, whatever like setbacks happen, you don't build resilience. You don't build like the intent to learn and grow or become better. You're just either like saying you're that, or you're saying like, oh, whatever, I'm the best I'm going to be and people need to deal with it or just leave, right? And it's like, that's not going to lead to you fulfilling your psychological needs for like connection and positive emotions, because you're literally making these decisions in states of negative emotions. You're literally making that decision. Everything's a risk that isn't saying I'm great, right? And that sucks. And that's not going to be good for you longer term as a person. If you're a person that's trying to achieve goals or trying to like be successful or trying to show up positively for people, you're never going to achieve that with that type of mindset. And then in closing, Martin Seligman also talks about ways to flourish and exercises that you can do each and every day as a person. So I know we talked about ways to like work within each of the 5 pieces of the PERMA model, but he talks also about just overall exercises for flourishing as a person. I've personally gotten a ton of value out of each of these and I want to make sure I brought awareness to them. So the first one, he talks about the powerful practice of writing down and keeping like a gratitude journal, if you will. So either thinking about 3 things that you're happy about for the day, or at night 3 things that you're grateful for. And we've been practicing this in our house with our kids and my wife and myself, and it's really hit, and it really keeps us focused on like what's important to us, and the things that we're ultimately writing down that we're grateful for, that we're happy about, are aligned with everything else that we've talked about thus far, right? They're aligned with positive emotions. They're aligned with moments where I'm engaging or in a flow state or having positive relationships or like meaning or accomplishment. Those are the things that I end up being grateful for. So having the constant reminder daily of it just hits bigger, right? Because now all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, I not only am being honest and have perseverance and gratitude, but I am like writing down and recognizing the daily actions or experiences I'm having that are aligned with that as well. And it just hits completely differently. The next one he talks about, and this goes back to relationships and human connection, but doing nice things for others, regardless of whether or not there's going to be a return or they're going to do something nice for you. So basically showing up and going into the day or into your experiences with the intent to like bring something positive to those around you, even if it's people you don't like or people that you don't know, complete strangers. So for example, I'll just try to have awareness of what's going on around me. So if I see someone struggling, I can like offer to help. If I see someone, that just packed up their car and they, the cart thing is like super far away from the grocery store and I'm heading into the grocery store, I'll offer to take their cart. Like things that you would feel like would be great if they happen to you. Why not model the behavior and the actions that you want to experience as well? And it follows, right? Because you're giving to others and you're trying to help others as well. And then the final one here is writing down how your actions are helping you achieve your goals or live your values, right? So very similar to the gratitude journal. I don't think it's necessary really to write it down specifically, although it would help to see it as like a tangible thing. I think the idea is more so around this this intention of reflecting on whether how I showed up today was aligned with how I want to show up, who I want to be, the goals I want to achieve, the values I want to have, right? So when you're going to sleep at night or waking up in the morning, thinking about your actions, thinking about your experiences each day, and do these align with who I want to be as a person? Do they align with what I want to achieve or my values or my goals? And if they don't, then I should shift my actions, right? I have awareness that it didn't align with what I want to achieve. Why am I continuing to do it? Why am I not changing my behavior or mindset or those actions to be more positive for myself?